Hey everyone, Human Shield 1991 back again with another episode of our Pokemon Showdown Generation 2 Random Battle Series. Now this go around, I gave a fair warning if you watched my Generation 1 episode that went up just the other day. If you haven't, I have a link in the description with a playlist for every single series I have, including that one. But I recorded several episodes within a short period of time, probably within an hour. And these were frustrating playthroughs, let me tell you. So these are going to be this episode, the Generation 3 episode upcoming, and the previously posted Generation 1 episode. They're all a little frustrating for me in different ways, and you can sense the frustration grows as the episodes continue. In this one, much more frustrating than episode 1. So if you enjoy that, then you should probably enjoy this. If not, well, I apologize in advance. But yeah, as I was saying, this is episode 6 for the Pokemon Showdown Generation 2 Random Battle Series. And what we do here is we play Showdown battles. Pretty simple, right? Pokemon Showdown is a free-to-play game. You can load it on your web browser at any point, so anybody can play it. I definitely recommend it. It's a fun time. It's not the same as, a full-on Pokemon game. It's just a battle simulator and team builder and all that, but it's still fun. With that said, if you don't already follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1991, hit the subscribe button, comment, like, all that good stuff. We are growing pretty nicely lately. We just hit 35 subscribers. Hopefully, we can keep that coming. 40 is the next goal. I'd love to get a few more in the next coming days, but we'll see, People finding the channel, hopefully you do enjoy the content. But other than that, I don't think we need to waste much more time. I think we're about good to get going. So yeah, let's check it out. And again, prepare for some frustrated moments. So while we were waiting, I had to cut out a little bit of the time, but we got going and we had a good start. A really good start, actually. Legendary versus an Arbok. Now, Arboks do tend to carry Earthquake, but instead he went with the Sludge Bomb, and I was able to set up the Sunny Day, which then was going to allow me just to do big damage with the Fire Blast. Not a bad start at all. So I hit the Fire Blast and actually didn't do as much damage as I was expecting. I'm a Legendary, doing Fire Blast in the sun. I was expecting it to be a 1-KO, but instead it was a 2-hit knockout. So that was unfortunate. They did take more than half of my health, but what can you do? In my head, I always thought Poison was weak to fire, but I'm quickly realizing that might not actually be the case, which is very strange because you would think it would be if Grass and Bug and I don't know. I guess it's maybe a balancing mechanic. Who knows? I stayed in because, hey, I had the sun up anyway, and I wanted to see what I could do. Hydro Pump, which would normally have killed me, did not thanks to the sun. But unfortunately, another one probably will. But I was hoping maybe my Fire Blast would be enough. Again, in my head, I was thinking that it was good against Poison. I don't know. I don't know if it's just something I always thought, and I was incorrect about since I was a little kid. But in my head, Fire's always been good against Poison. It's very strange to me that it's not. Anyway, unfortunately, the sun did go away once again, but it's okay. I figured they were going to swap out, so I tried to set up, and I made a similar mistake I made in the Gen 1 episode, where I was going to. But thankfully, I actually decided to swap. Now, I did swap into an Explosion, which was less ideal, but in the end, Sandslash isn't necessarily the most crucial member of the team, so that's okay. With that said, Sandslash, underrated. I like Sandslash. I love its design. Sandshrew is adorable. Sandslash is tough. I really like the Alolan ones. Eventually, I'm going to make videos talking about different Pokemon and different concepts I like. If you are interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below. I know on Twitter several people were, so it could be fun. I'm going to ramble and nobody care. I guess so you can say that's what I do with these videos as it is, but I don't know. Some people care, which is a great feeling. So thank you, by the way, for watching my videos and supporting the channel. Anyway, so Flora is back out, and I took this opportunity to set up. Now, the problem is she doesn't have the most wide variety of moves, so the setups are kind of being wasted. I swapped out. They probably saw it coming. I went to a Sneasel, though, and they kind of ate it up. I was impressed. The Sneasel line is also very cool. Sneasel and Weavile and all that. Meganium's cool, too. I don't know. I like way too many Pokemon. You're just going to hear me say, oh, that's a cool Pokemon. That's a good one. I like that one. I like their design. Oh, they're good. That's pretty much my channel in a nutshell. So subscribe. And one thing that was frustrating is people kept leaving or being very slow. And again, I could chop these videos up, but I don't like to do that. It's not just a laziness thing. It's not just a lack of ability, which is partially that. But I like them to be fully encompassing. You know, I want you to see the battle as I experienced it. Anyway, at this point, I was ranting in the chat, but they actually showed back up, so I was happy about that. But they were still taking forever. But yeah, as I was saying before, I definitely want to do some videos where I talk about my favorite Pokemon, I talk about different concepts, or I just talk about, I don't know, part of me even wants to do a full series where I talk about every single Pokemon. Like, not one Pokemon in an episode, but you get the idea. I've also been doing something called This or That on Twitter, and I thought that could be kind of fun for a YouTube video series. But anyway, I switched out to Cloyster, who is weak to ice, but I thought the water would be able to make it survive. It didn't. I was able to get a Toxic off, though, which was nice. I didn't have a perfect answer from the cargo, and all my Pokemon were weak to it because they were either ice or grass. So that's unfortunate, because at this point there wasn't a ton I could do, except I was hoping to whittle it away and maybe survive. Fire Blast doesn't seem to miss too much when other people use it, only when I do, just like with Hypnosis, or so it feels like. At this point I went for another Hidden Power, but I was in trouble. I was in big trouble. At first I thought I had a pretty good lead, but things just went down the drain. Now, to my surprise, Hidden Power didn't do great, and I wish I had knocked off my previous two Pokemon, but at this point it was too late for that. Right away, my instinct was, hey, if I heal up, maybe I still have a shot, right? But I don't know, it was a long shot. Thankfully, they went for an Earthquake for some reason. Maybe they just didn't have moves, that's what I was thinking at that point. And I decided just to make sure I was fully healed up. They were doing the same. But I did have a trick up my sleeve for Meganium, because, hey, I have a Poison-type user. So I sent the Vileplume out, who completely ate up that Leaf like it was nothing. And then it was all about sludging this guy up. Or grow. And they did switch to Granbull, who, surprise, surprise, I like Granbull. And at that point, I wasn't sure what they were going to go for, so I wanted to put them to sleep. I did take a safe approach. Someone in the comment section recently said that I often take the safe approach instead of a full-on offensive attack, and that when we couldn't decide if it was a good thing or a bad thing, just something that happened. And it's true, it definitely is a thing that I do. So anyway, at this point I decided to leech them while sleeping to whittle them away. I figured that was a good strategy to hopefully wear them down and keep my health up in the process. Especially because Granbull's often a rest and sleep talk user, so at least Leech Seed is constantly doing damage. And whatever they do, the Giga Drain and Leech Seed combo, in theory, would have kept my health up, but then they got a crit. And that was big, big, big trouble. Now my hope at this point was I would be faster, and I could get enough health to make sure I live whatever they do. And they rested again. So in Generation 1 and Generation 2, there's this weird rest bug where if you use Sleep Talk while sleeping and it lands on rest, it full heals you again. Ugh, it's annoying. It's a frustrating mechanic. Let me tell you, very frustrating. Ugh, I'm getting irritated just thinking about it. It's really a frustrating mechanic. But I believe it's gone after Gen 2 because when I play it, I don't see that anymore. And I wouldn't think it would come back for Gen 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, but I may be wrong. Speaking of Generation 4, if you would like to see me extend these series into a Generation 4 series, let me know in the comments section. My initial plan was to have a series for every single generation, 1 through 8, and I'd still like to do that, but then part of me is a little uneasy because of the gimmicks that future generations have. I'm not too bad with Megas. I like Megas, actually. But I don't know, the Dynamax and Gigantamax, it makes me a little uneasy. Anyway, they sent Meganium out, and at this point I was just trying to do more big damage. The first strategy worked pretty well. We were able to take Granbull out. Earthquake didn't do as much as I thought I would, or I thought it would. And Meganium went down. This leaves just one Pokemon left on their team, but they forfeited. Kind of cheap, but a win's a win, right? Definitely not bad. Probably should have just accepted the win and cut off the recording there. But I thought, no, let's get a second battle. And this one started off strong. We had a beastly Heracross just completely destroy another Meganium. And, God, I love Heracross. Such a cool Pokemon. Very, very cool. There's a Pokemon I'd love to have a regional form, just to get it back into prominence. But, man, they're cool. I feel like I don't even see them in these new-gen games much. Even to another form, just have them around. They're awesome. So at this point, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I went for a setup. I think I rely on setup a little too much sometimes because I wasn't sure where to go here. And I thought, hey, maybe I'll just try to outpower it. I should be faster even with the speed drop. I wasn't, and the damage was terrible. So I should have just swapped out. You know, I learned my lesson before. I thought I did, but then I made the same mistake later on. So did I ever really learn a lesson? I don't think so. I was looking at my roster and I realized I don't have that much that can really... I don't know. I didn't like this team that much. Even though I liked the Pokemon on it, I didn't feel there was a good sync between the characters or the Pokemon. So I went with Toxic, but unfortunately it was prepared for that. Was able to heal using the held item. So I went for another one, and Return is still doing pretty good damage despite the fact that I resisted, unfortunately. I went with Toxic again, and then at that point I just wanted to try to set up if I could get some spikes up just to do any kind of damage for anything coming in, and I was taken out. Explosion might have been a better choice than the spike, but I was trying to think long, especially knowing, they still have 5 Pokemon on their team, 5 Pokemon, 4 others besides this one. So it was just an idea, hopefully, to just do a little bit of damage, but it really didn't do much. Anyway, this was a weird little thing. I went for Hidden Power because, hey, I had an unknown, and I figured if I did lose it, I'd rather lose it early because it wasn't going to be great for endgame. And they somehow had Dunsparce. It's just a very weird combination. And then they left. So at this point, I was a little annoyed because I wasn't really... I don't know, I was happy to win, but I wanted to end it on a battle that's full, not with people leaving. It's no fun. And as a reminder, I often record these at, very early in the morning, which for most people would be when they're getting up. For me, it was when I was going to bed. So unfortunately, there's not as many people on. Plus, I'm not playing, the newest meta. I'm not playing Generation 8 random battles. It's several back, 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes it can take a while to get a battle going. Not too long, though, because a lot of people play Showdown. Anyway, this one started up, and we had Nidoking and Magcargo. 2 cool Pokemon, classic Pokemon. That would actually be a fun one for the this or that. Especially because so far I've stuck to just Pokemon that aren't evolved yet. So this would be a different version. But the thing is, I feel like Nidoking might win for most people. But man, Magcargo's cool. I don't know if people like it or not. I like it. It wouldn't be practical to have around the house, though. Anyway, to add to the annoyance of this recording, this person was not going. Just, I don't know if maybe they were waiting for a battle and they went to another tab or went to the bathroom or grab a drink or something. I mean, I know I've done that. So, what can you do? Again, though, because I'm recording, it's a little different. I don't think I would be as annoyed normally because I would just go to another tab or something like that. Anyway, I went with the Rock Slide. Worked out pretty okay because at least I got the flinch, but because they're rock, it didn't really do much damage. Did a little bit. It was bad, but not ideal either. And again, they were just taking so long. But Earthquake worked out pretty well, knocked them right out, which was a good start. At this point, I was really annoyed because I did want to end the recording session with someone just leaving, and this was 2 in a row. But now is where the annoyance would get an all-time high, but not because somebody left. This is when HAX and just bad luck would hit me on levels that drove me crazy. Anyway, I tried to set up. They had a mean look. It's baton pass, which is nice. So I figured, hey, I'll set up a little more. I'm sorry, I'm laughing just thinking about this now. I was so irritated at the time. They hit me with Parasong and me with combo, which isn't bad. Now, I actually didn't think about whether Parasong would transfer with baton pass or not. That crossed my mind. Unfortunately, it did, but it wasn't a huge deal because it was Smeargle. I mean, whatever. But as soon as Smeargle came, frozen. That was frustrating. I went out to hopefully set up, and then if I lost Smeargle, no big deal. But I got frozen first hit. Now, I never get freezes, almost ever. So to get hit with it, oh. Anyway, I swapped back out, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't comfortable with my team. I wasn't in love with it. And they sent out Sudowoodo, and the setup was kind of pointless because all I had was Thunderbolt. Sent a Baton Pass, and I thought, hey, well, I have a Grass type. That'll be perfect. Now, instead of going right for the move, which I probably should have, I went the cautious approach because I figured, hey, they'll swap out, so I'll Stun Spore whatever they send out. Makes sense, I think. I think that's logical, really. And they send out Ursaring. So, kind of a weird swap to me. I didn't really understand why. I guess in retrospect it was something to do with like Fire Punch or something like that, but it seemed like a strange one. But instead they came out to set up. And now I was really confused about why. It seemed like a strange switch to me. But it was working in my favor with the Giga Drains. I was doing some pretty good damage. They were paralyzed. They were getting hit with the HAX. I could look past the first turn frozen, and I was feeling pretty good. They kind of went through what I go through, where they set up, and then instead of just leaving or trying to do something new, they kept with it, and it was backfiring for them. But they did eventually swap out, and they swapped out to Jinx again, our fierce rival Jinx, who hit a big Ice Beam and instant freeze. Now, yes, I should have swapped out with Blossom, but I wanted to slow Jinx down just so someone else could come in and finish her off. But instead, first turn freeze again. I never get frozen, ever. Or I never freeze anybody, ever. And twice in a row they got first turn freeze. I'm surprised they didn't get it there. And then they're just going with more and more Ice Beams, doing big damage. But finally, I was able to take them out. And things started feeling a little better now. But man, I can't believe they got 2 first turn freezes. What is that, a 10% chance to freeze at best? So what are the odds that they get it twice in a row? I don't even know the math there, but I switched out to Blossom, hoping maybe I would unfreeze, but it was mostly just to eat it. And then I set Jolteon back out, and I really over-relied on setting up for this battle. But I didn't really know what else to do with my team. I wasn't in love with it, but in this case, I don't know. Plus, I did figure they were going to swap out, but I didn't have something I was feeling great about. You know, I didn't have that big time water type that I thought would completely, like, I have Gyarados, yeah, but Gyarados, as you can see, weak to rock. So, like, I didn't have something I felt comfortable going out to. I did eventually go with Sudowoodo, hoping to damage. And this, as annoying as it was kind of amusing to me. Because what is Sudowoodo known for? Especially in the early generation Mimic. And what did we have here? Just 2 Sudowoodos just going back and forth. And it was just downright silly, to be honest with you. It reminds me, I can't remember. I had a recent battle that I put on the channel that was similar to this, and it was just two of the same Pokemon or two similar Pokemon going back and forth doing the same basic thing. And I think it might have been a Kadabra and Alakazam or something, but like, well, first of all, there's 250 what? 251 Pokemon, I believe, in this generation. So what are the odds that we would both have Sudowoodo to begin with? And then they're just sitting there doing Rest and Earthquake and Sleep Talk back and forth. They did hit me with a big crit, which was unfortunate. But then I had the Rest Sleep Talk exploit, I guess you would call it. I don't even know if you would call it an exploit or not. It's not a glitch. I don't think it was a bug. I think it was just a weird mechanic in the old game. Anyway, we're just going back and forth, back and forth. And again, this is a good time to mention, hey, if you like the channel, subscribe. This is actually probably not the great time to mention, but that's okay. If you do like the channel, please subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Sudowoodo. Let me know what you think of all these Pokemon. And if you are a fan of math, let me know what the odds are of getting hit with two, getting frozen twice from 10% moves like that. Because that was crazy. And mind-blowing. Anyway, we kept going back and forth like this for ever, pretty much. And this is the longest video I've had for a Showdown battle. I've had much longer videos for the Nuzlocke because I have much more to do in that. But unfortunately, first game, it was pretty much a win, and somebody left. And then the second game, somebody left pretty early. Third game, somebody left really early. And then the fourth game, there's HAX and then back and forth. I don't know. It was a weird set of recordings. Very weird. Not as weird as the glitchy one I had once that I put up as a bonus episode. I want to say 3 weeks back, but and it got to the point where I was just kind of exhausted and I'd rather just lose, which is a bad mentality to have. But I was able to knock it out. It really didn't make a huge difference, though. I'm not sure why they kept doing that. Like, they could have just sent Tentacruel out and did work. Yeah, it tweaked to Earthquake, but I mean, come on. And then they went with Ice Beam, which I'm not sure why they would have done that at all. Unless they just thought, hey, why waste a Hydro Pump when an Ice Beam would knock them out, but it didn't. So I'm not really sure what their strategy was with that. Probably just hoping not to miss. I don't know. But at this point, it was 4-on-2, and the odds were not in my favor. They sent out Raichu, who I did not see coming at all. And I figured, well, there's not a lot I can do, but I'll baton pass and hope Murkrow can do something. But it couldn't. Because all I had with Jolteon was Thunderbolt. I was Thunderbolting Raichu. What was I going to do? There wasn't anything I could do with Murkrow either, though, so it was pretty much just waiting to lose. For whatever reason, they Thunder Waved me, which seems like something I would do. But they had this in the bag. It was just a matter of time. Hidden Power didn't do too bad of damage, but obviously it wasn't going to be close to enough. And Murkrow went down, leaving just Jolteon. I did try to set up again, just on the off chance that, hey, maybe there's a chance that if I set up enough, I can sweep his last two Pokemon. You know, and even with Raichu, because I don't think they have, like, the, shoot, what's that ability called? The one where you do an electric move and it doesn't affect them, or they eat it up. Chinchou has it. Is it Volt Absorb? Volt Absorb? Might be Volt Absorb. Let me know in the comment section. But anyway, I was just trying to set up to do what I could. Maybe the agilities would be a good way to bypass the paralysis, but it didn't matter at that point. I just didn't have the health and it was all over. So that battle was less than ideal, and I almost wish I didn't take it. I just accepted that people wanted to run away. But hey, a loss isn't a big deal. It was just the frustrating hacks, the back and forth, me being tired, people leaving. I was growing very grumpy when playing that battle, and I think I was just losing focus. But it was still fun. You know, I like doing Showdown battles. I know my channel seems to have a split where some people just like the Nuzlocke content, some people just like the Showdown content, and there's some people who like both. But I enjoy doing both, so as long as people like both, I'll probably keep doing both. And once I stop, I'm sure at some point I might take a break from Showdown, or at least from certain generations, so I can focus on other ones. I've been kind of sticking to a schedule where every week I'm doing 2 or 3 Nuzlocke episodes and then one battle from each of the Showdown generations 1, 2, and 3. So that's been pretty good. It's a standard of 5 to 6 videos a week. But at some point, especially as I add other series and other concepts into the channel, that'll change. That won't be so routine. Anyway, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you feel bad for the Frozen, leave a comment or two. It definitely helps the channel and I hope it grow. We're at 35 subscribers and the goal is to hit 40 next, so we'll see how that goes. Definitely subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1991. But that should just about do it for this episode. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around for this longer episode. If you did, and yeah, that's going to be it. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.